Mental illness affects our community. It affects everyone in our community. The National Institute of Mental Health states that 1 in 4 adults aged 18 or older has a diagnosable mental illness. That means that our parents, our children, our brothers, our sisters, our neighbors, 1 in 4 will suffer from a serious mental illness.
Well, I was in bed for about a year after I got out of the hospital from a very serious breakdown, and I often wasn't able to leave the house for any reason. It was a secret that I was as sick as I was. I tried to hide it from my children, who thought I was just very tired. I was very suicidal. I just really didn't think I could go one more day, and every day I woke up thinking it really was my last.
Due to the persistence of old stereotypes, society has not yet come to accept and embrace those struggling with symptoms. It's no wonder that people dealing with psychiatric disabilities hide their illnesses, even from those they love and trust.
From the very beginning, the stigma was very, very high, very high. It was just, we just didn't mention it to anybody. We couldn't get it out of our system, really, to tell someone. Couldn't tell it to our neighbors. It was even hard to describe it to my close relatives.
People really are so put off by the whole stigma of mental illness, and they don't realize that they're living and working right alongside people that have mental illness like I do.
In 1963, Vera Mellon, a pioneer in the field of psychiatric rehabilitation, established a community-based center where previously hospitalized psychiatric patients met to discuss their goals and identify their needs.
This is an illness, and it's okay, because it can be treated and you can live with it and live a very successful life. And we will help you develop the skills and the supports that you need to do that.
PRS staff and clients are routinely invited to share our successes by training other providers. We are community-based, we are consumer-driven, and in all of our services and supports, we maintain a focus on recovery and outcomes.
Unlike traditional mental health sessions, a 50-minute session where they might see the client once every 4 weeks or 8 weeks, we get to give the feedback on a needed interpersonal conflict right in the moment. And people can learn and grow interpersonally much quicker that way.
We take into account all aspects of the client's life. For instance, if a client has no housing, they're homeless, or if a client has no ability to manage their money or take care of their medications, and we don't look at that, we don't include that in our approach with the clients, then we're not going to get very far in helping them to learn pre-work skills, for instance. So if we don't take into account all aspects of the client's life, we're really missing the boat.
So much of what mental health treatment is treating the illness as opposed to helping clients understand what their skills, strengths, interests, abilities are. That's the recovery. So we focus more on that and focus less on the illness.
One-on-one service allows each client to meet with a personal counselor to develop an individual plan for recovery. The clients then track their own progress toward individualized goals.
Each client has an individual rehabilitation program with their own set of rehabilitation goals. We instill hope for clients that they can recover, that they can move on to work, to have a fuller life, to have friends, to be a part of the community.
Our clients have lives, they have families, they have interests, they have abilities that go well beyond the mental illness, and it's helping them understand that and be able to tap into their resources so that they can move forward into recovery.
Those people who had been silently enduring the symptoms of their illness are taking critical steps toward meaningful and fulfilling lives. Clients discover hope at PRS. Hope for recovery.
We don't have a way to cure it, but we have a way for you to change the way you're living in a positive way and cope with the symptoms of it and get on with your life.
I'm capable of doing far more than I have been in the past, and that to me is the most essential jewel of being involved with PRS.
Recovery is possible. Cure? There's no cure for schizophrenia. Recovery, yes. People with mental illness can lead full and productive lives, and PRS is here to demonstrate every day that this is the case.
I was like in despair and depressed because I didn't have no goals or plans, but now PRS had like laid out the fundamentals for me. I'm more optimistic about what I can do.
One of the first things we do is help foster a sense of hope. That provides the engine through which recovery occurs. It is the hope that drives recovery, and that's a very important part of our program.
How I found hope at PRS is knowing that somebody cares about me and that I ain't struggling on my own.
We help the clients to move out into the community step by step after instilling in them the feeling of self-confidence that they can do it.
I've developed and grown in PRS. So pretty much I'm more confident now as I go out in the real world.
Clients start to feel a sense of energy, I think, a greater sense of belonging. They start to feel that they can actually accomplish more than what they previously thought they could. And that's a big stepping stone for many people who, from much of their recent life, they have felt that they could not. They start to feel like they can.
I can do things. I don't have to constantly be dependent upon my therapist or a case manager or being given an assignment. I can take initiative, I can be creative, and I can make things happen. For those of you who are watching this who really don't get what mental illness is about, a lot of it is about shutting down, feeling as if you're trapped, and that there really isn't much hope or much prosperity that's available to you. Programs like PRS really work well to help people understand that they can do a lot of things and that they are not only resourceful, but they themselves can be resources to help others.
PRS is prepared to help the growing number of adults living with mental illness in our community. We have the organizational capacity, we have the experience, we have the expertise. Our outcomes are outstanding in helping our clients achieve their goals, but we cannot do it alone. We need your help.
There's no doubt that this was the only path for me to recovery. Traditional medicine wasn't enough. And I think the most important thing that I could say is that PRS really saved my life. I really wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for PRS.